Just a couple of games left before the start of the regular season. A couple spring training games, and one of the big roster questions was answered. And it may answer all the questions as far as the position players are concerned. Nick Madrigal back in the lineup. What does that mean? Cubs and the Dodgers, 2025, a showdown in Tokyo. It's a big deal, and I'm going to tell you why. And how about Owen Caissie? There's going to be a time where Owen Caissie is an everyday player for the Cubs, and that could be for a long, long time when he gets there. Another great performance by the Cubs prospect. We're going to talk about that. Make sure you like and subscribe. Give us a thumbs up. Great to have you here on the Cubs Baseball channel. Hit the bell so you know when we're dropping new content. Let's get this thing started. Here's your invitation to the Cubs Baseball channel. Go Cubs. Hey everybody, welcome to the Cubs Baseball channel. I'm your buddy. I'm your friend, your Cubs buddy, Mick Gillispie at Broadcaster Mick. Buddy, twice. Hey, it is great to have you guys here on the channel and appreciate all of you for hanging out with us here as we talk Cubs every day. I'm a lifelong Cubs fan and been working with the organization for a long time. So got the fan thing down and I've got the organizational thing down. And I love what you guys do in the comments section. We talk about the Cubs every day. We have a passion for it, and we're getting ready for the start of the regular season. All right, let's get into this right now. We were talking about the roster, and I did all the math on the roster, and I said, look, if this happens, then this happens, right? And it came down to this, position player-wise. It came down to, I think Ian Happ most likely is going to start on the IL. I mean, just from Craig Counsell talking and the fact that he hasn't played in a while, right? He's been dealing with a hamstring. We know that Patrick Wisdom has the back, and Nick Madrigal, he was the guy that I was kind of wondering about, right? Because if Madrigal hadn't come back, I don't know who the final guy would have been on the roster, because right now, you know, Miles Mastrobuoni and Alexander Canario, I think both make the team. And then you go Gomes, Amaya, Bush, Cooper, Horner, Swanson, Morel, Happ, Bellinger, Tauchman, Seiya, Suzuki, and that's your 13 guys, right? With Madrigal. So it was good to have him back yesterday, played a game, hasn't had a lot of spring training. He's constantly dealing with injuries. He's a player that I do like. I think that he brings a lot to the table when he's healthy. I love the fact that he's a contact guy. He's also a good defender, not a power guy, but he can do different things on the diamond. He's just got to stay healthy. But he's going to be ready for opening day, and I think that sets the roster for the Cubs as far as position players go. Having Nick Madrigal back is a big deal, because if he's not back, then all of a sudden it's like, what do you do? I mean, do you go get Pete Crow Armstrong and you bring him back? Do you put David Bodie on the 40-man, which I feel like if it was easy to find a spot on the 40-man, they would have kept C.J. Edwards, which they didn't. So part of that is trying to figure out where you have spots that you can put these guys, and having Madrigal ready to go, I think really helps you. You know, and you know, as far as a guy that can jump in, play different spots, make contact, you know, do all those things, he's good at that. So I feel like we're kind of set now, position player wise. And I think we're kind of set pitching wise. I think that the regular roster, the 26-man roster, is about to come out, and I think we have a really good idea of what it looks like. And, you know, you got a couple of these games against the Cardinals. I've broadcasted these games in the past, the final two spring training games, and normally it's, you know, a couple innings for the guys that are going to start, and then you play a lot of the kids on the last game, and then it's travel time. And travel for the Cubs means going from Arizona to Texas to take on the Rangers. And the good news is it appears that Justin Steele is going to be ready for that game on Thursday. which after taking the ball off of his knee, the contusion, you're wondering, like, is this really going to happen? Is it smart to happen? I mean, would it be better just to say, hey, man, sit out a couple days and let's use you for the home opener at Wrigley, which could be, if it lines up right, Shota Imanaga. And if that happens, it'll be the first time that a guy makes his debut in a home opener for the Cubs, which is pretty cool, at least at Wrigley Field, right? I mean, you'd have to go back further than that. So we'll see. But the fact that Justin Steele wants the ball tells me a lot about him. I'm a huge fan of Justin Steele as a person. Love the baseball IQ and love the fact that the guy's a bulldog. Give me the ball. I want to go out there. This isn't going to stop me. My bracket stinks, but I'm healthy. So that's good news for the Cubs. Cubs and Dodgers, Tokyo, Japan, open the season 2025. This is a huge opportunity for the Chicago Cubs because you're talking about one of the best baseball markets in the entire world. They absolutely love baseball in Japan. And you guys know that already. Seiya Suzuki, Shota Imanaga, the Dodgers have guys from Japan. We're kind of wondering about one of those guys and this betting scandal, and if he's involved in this, and is he going to get the same treatment as Pete Rose? Was he gambling on baseball? We don't know. I know a lot of you guys have mentioned it in the comments section. I'm very aware of the fact that his interpreter is in a lot of trouble. And what's funny is that the interpreter's resume is all fake. I mean, they're finding this out, allegedly. Like, he didn't go to this school, and he never did this, and he never did that, but he's been he's been Ohtani's best friend. People really like him. And he's also apparently got a terrible gambling issue that he, uses Ohtani's money for, or does he? Yamamoto's over there as well. So I don't know what's going to happen. I can't imagine a scenario where baseball suspends anyone. I mean, when you don't punish a team for cheating to win the World Series, are you really going to punish someone for something like this? I'm sure that they'll figure out a way. And I'm just telling you my opinion. I just think that they'll find a way for the least path of resistance. The interpreter's going to take the fall. If it's not his fall, he's taking it, and then we'll eventually move on, just like we did with the World Series, and that'll be that. But the shame is, so when you talk to guys that played with Pete Rose, they think that he belongs in the Hall of Fame. I'm not saying I do, but they do. You ask Ryan Sandberg, he says, playing against Pete Rose was one of the best things because he loved the way that he played the game. Guy got 3 hits, he won at 4. He told me he got 4, he won at 5. Got 5, he won at 6. The consummate baseball player and really the hit king, right? But when you bet on baseball, you put into question the integrity of the game. And that's the problem. And in the NFL, if you bet on sports, you've seen this. Calvin Ridley and some of these other guys have been suspended, some of them for a whole year. Is baseball going to do that? Or was this really just the interpreter? I don't know. But going back to this matchup, business-wise, if I'm the Cubs, I think this is a great opportunity. And for the next 2 years, I'm focusing on how I can draw in Japanese Cubs fans because their money spends just like anybody else's. And they love baseball. They watch baseball. They're diehards. The more Japanese fans that the Cubs have, the better for the organization, the better for the bottom line. And honestly, and I've talked about this with you guys a lot, I have nothing but love and respect for the way that the Japanese baseball game is played. I love it. I love everything about it. So watching these guys come over and have success in Major League Baseball, it used to be that the Japanese leagues were kind of like AAA, but they've gotten better, or maybe we've gotten worse. But I'll tell you this, when I say we, Major League Baseball, it's a touch behind Major League Baseball, not that much. And when their best players come over, they're still good here. And honestly, I think it's good for the game that there's other leagues out there where you go and you pay for somebody to come over and they have success. And that doesn't always work out that way. But, we saw it just on the Cubs team last year with Seiya. And when he kind of got it figured out, and hopefully we'll see the same thing with Shota. And then the best player in the game is Ohtani. He's the best player in the game. So you can't argue that. All right, final thing I wanted to get on today to talk about was Owen Caissie. I keep saying this, and I really believe it. I think Owen Caissie is going to be one of those players who has a long, extended, successful career in the major leagues. He's young. He puts up amazing numbers. When he makes contact, big things happen. He just looks like kind of like a Paul Goldschmidt type when I saw him last year in the minor leagues, where he just makes contact and good things happen. Ball, it's like when he hits it with the bat, it's like a rubber ball. The thing that he's going to have to work on this year, and I'm not nitpicking, is just laying off the middle end off speed stuff. But the guy continues every time you put him in a big league game to do great stuff. Had the home run yesterday for the Cubs, and don't be surprised, he is a producer. Now I'm talking about all the major power categories. And I'm going to tell you this right now. If he was in the Cubs lineup right now, he'd be the fourth best hitter on the team. You'd have Bellinger, you'd have Seiya Suzuki, and I'd say probably Ian Happ, and then him. So that's right now. What's it going to look like when he's ready to crack into the lineup? Where are you going to put him? It could be a DH, could be first base, could be in the outfield somewhere. The bottom line is the Cubs have something here with this guy, and I just have this gut feeling that he's going to be a long-time major leaguer. And a lot of it has to do not just the production, but the person that he is. He's like one of these guys. He's young, but he acts like he's like 40. Like he's so focused, consistent. And so back in there again, more good things from Owen Caissie. And it's exciting. Anyway, that's where we are right now. We're going to keep an eye on everything going on. The Cubs are going to announce that roster really soon. I think we have a very good idea of what it's going to look like. Kind of went over that yesterday. Now that Nick Madrigal's back, I think we have our 13 guys for the position players. And I think we're pretty much lined up. I don't think Hayden Wisniewski makes the team. I think they take Luke Little. And I think Quas is the other guy. I think that gives you your 26. But I could be wrong. We'll find out. Like and subscribe. Get in the comments section. Love hearing from all of you guys. And the best thing is that opening day is coming up this week. Go Cubs, everybody. Thanks for hanging out. And we'll do it again tomorrow unless something big breaks.